Love it. And Rebecca is here to save our ice day. So Rebecca, good to have you back again. I love this. I've had two of these machines over the years, and I just love being able to make my own ice almost anywhere.
Me too. I love it. And this is the most portable one we've ever offered, meaning it's the lightest. It's only going to be about 18 pounds. And no matter where you go, all you need is that standard outlet. So that means if you're at a camping pavilion, if you're going to be in an RV, a boat, a dorm, assisted living, anywhere you have a standard outlet, you're going to get 26 pounds of ice every 24 hours, with it churning out a tray of ice every 7 minutes. And it's going to be the best tasting ice you've ever tasted. Why? Well, it's being made all in the self-contained unit. You can see there, all I need to do is pour in the water. No drain, no water line needed, just plug it in. And then I get to decide, look at that, size of ice. The L is for large. That's going to be great for your mixed drinks, maybe for your buffet needs. And then that S is for small. That's great when you want to make your protein smoothies, your pina coladas, anything that you want to blend down to a creamy consistency. Just to show you some of my favorite things that I love about this, the reason I filled this up so full, if you can see, we have bullet ice. They fit together. They just kind of scrunch together, so it's going to really fit lovely in your glass, and you'll get more ice in your glass as well. But because of the way it's made, in that little stainless steel post right there, where it's flash frozen, so there's less impurities, you're going to see that there is a little indentation. That little indentation gives you more surface of the ice, Suzanne, so it's going to cool down your drinks faster. And now this is the small that I'm holding, and then this is going to be, they're little slippery little suckers tonight. This is going to be the large. So you can see that there's that difference. Whatever you want, just to press the button, you've got.
Yeah, and I love the colors that we have tonight. They're just so gorgeous. When we first launched this years ago, we only had a couple basic colors, and I bought one in white, and I really loved it. It just would crank out the ice, and there's nothing worse than having a get-together, a cookout or whatever, and you look at your husband and say, will you run to the store and get us a bag of ice? Oh gosh, we've run out of ice. Boy, talk about a party downer. Ice is like crucial, and I personally love ice, and I like lots of it. I'm not one of those 2-cuber kind of girls. I'm like, bring the ice. And our little ice maker at home, it just can't keep up, especially if we have company come over. And maybe, you remember earlier, Rebecca and I had from StoreSmith this really cool collapsible outdoor bar table that had, and we'll try to show that again, because it's really neat, it's brand new. And it had a big galvanized bucket on the bottom of it, which holds a lot of ice. So you'll wipe out your own ice making machine with one good party, having to fill up like a cooler or that little ice bucket. And Allison, I hope we can show that in just a couple of minutes, because this kind of goes along with it. Here are the colors, they're beautiful. That's your classic stainless steel. This is blue, and it's that awesome, awesome turquoise blue color. Then I love the copper, how gorgeous. It's almost like a deep rose gold. This one is red, and it's really kind of sexy. And then I'll tell you, I think my new favorite, this is black, and it's almost a little bit like a metallic black. It's beautiful. I like the size of this too, Rebecca, because you are gonna leave it out. It does not take up a lot of counter space.
No, this is what we wanted. We wanted something that you're going to use every single day. And Suzanne, there's that bar table you were talking about. This would go perfectly with that, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, it'd be so much fun to set this on there, and then you've got your drinks down below, your ice is being made, you've got all your mixers on there. Like, that's a heck of a party, if you ask me.
And all you need is an outlet. How great is that? You don't have to send anybody to go get another bag of ice that you have to try to find room for in the freezer. I mean, a lot of times when you're talking about partying, it's going to be the RV, it's going to be the boat, it's going to be the camping, and you're still relying on this. It would take you 6 hours for 14 ice cubes. That party's going to be dead by the time you get those 14 ice cubes. If you're relying on your refrigerator ice maker, that's going to take you 3 hours. 3 hours, or every 6 minutes. You're going to get a full, best tasting ice you've ever had, ever, in a second, every 7 minutes. And all you had to do was add water. I mean, it can't get any easier than that.
So, Rebecca, this is what how big a nerd I am. So I looked up, what's the price of a 10-pound bag of ice, okay? So I did the math. This is what a nerd I am. So this is basically, it'll make almost 3 10-pound bags. Remember, 26 pounds of ice. So almost 3 10-pound bags. The average cost of a 10-pound bag of ice is $2. So that's $6 in ice, okay? Having to buy it, right? That doesn't include gas prices to have to go drive to get it, right? No. It's gonna pay for itself in 21 days.
Oh my gosh, you are so good.
You will be able to make almost three 10-pound bags of ice, which would be $6 to do that. And in 26 days, it's actually completely paid for itself. And trust me, our original one is still going strong. The only reason I got rid of it is that when I downsized, we didn't have enough room to move it into the new place. But imagine, that's just 21 days of ice. You've paid for the unit completely, and it's gonna keep cranking out ice for years and years and years. Because you know what? Improvements makes a beautiful quality ice machine. You actually can feel it when you work with it.
Yeah, it's 18 pounds, so that is our most compact, but what's in there is an ice making machine. I mean, it is going to churn out tray after tray after tray. When it comes to you, all you're gonna have to do is you're gonna plug it in. That's literally it. This is where you're gonna add the water right here in the front. It's gonna hold about a gallon of water, which I love, because when you are having those parties, you don't have to babysit it. Love this oversized window too, so you see right where you are. But from across the room, you can also see if you need to add water if the ice is full, because we have this little panel on top and they light up red. So I've been across the room sometimes and I'd be like, oh, the red light's on. So I know I have to, it's wonderful. I love that. But the really great thing is we're talking get-togethers, we're talking parties. This is a day-to-day need that you will use. I mean, I wake up every morning, I press my coffee machine on and I press my ice maker on. And at the same time, they're both ready. There's a look at it. Isn't it great? It's very indicative, just on and off. And then that select will take you to the S for the small ice or the L for the large ice. And then it will tell you when the ice is full and when to add water. So it's very easy. But what I was saying is, so for my ice, my iced coffee never tasted better. I spent a lot of money on my coffee. I don't want to taste what I made for dinner last night, that's for sure. I don't want to taste the funky ice that I would get from my refrigerator freezer ice maker. Here, I'm able to pop it in. You also notice something else? Because we made it that bullet-shaped ice cube, it fits even in those tiny openings. So no more taking that crescent moon ice, taking it here and trying to jam it in with your palm of your hand, which hurts. They pop in easily. So if it's your water bottle, if it's your iced coffee, you can now take that ice to go in just 7 minutes. You're gonna have the best tasting iced coffee. You don't have to stop at that big store anymore because you can make it at home.
Well, and how many times do you have, say, the grandkids come over and you wanna make them like a great little lemonade, or you love a good old Southern sweet tea or something like that. Or maybe you wanna make them their snow cones. Maybe you have a little snow cone machine. You need a lot of ice for that to get down to the fluffy snow coney consistency. Well, you're gonna wipe out your automatic ice maker in your fridge very quickly. And remember what Rebecca said, it's 6 hours for 3 hours for your fridge. I swear, Rebecca, mine doesn't even fill it up in 3 hours.
Mine's broken for the third time. Yeah.
Well, mine, I can tell you, if we wipe out our ice in our freezer, that's an automatic ice maker, it's a good full 24 hours of no one touching the ice to get it back to full again. It really is. I'm not exaggerating.
Slapping cans away. No, you're right, actually.
It takes forever. Yeah, and I love me some ice. I love ice more than anybody can imagine. But again, you're gonna get it consistently. Oh, there it is. Look, it's already making another set. Now, what I love is it'll actually pick it up, watch, it's like a little scooper. Here it goes, you can hear it working. I'm so familiar with this because this is almost identical to the original unit I bought years ago. And look, it pushes it forward and then it's gonna go back and fill back up again and say, okay, I'm gonna make some more for you. I do have a question for you on this unit. If we have any water left in the bottom, or maybe you're turning it off, for a couple of weeks, or you're only gonna use it when you have a party, or maybe you're traveling with it, what do you do?
So easy, there's no filters, there's nothing, no maintenance. The only thing you have to do is if there's any water left over at the end of the day or a party, right here on the front left-hand side, there's a little plug. You'd put that over your sink, you'd put it out over the ground if you're tailgating or camping, and you release that plug and let the water run out. That's it. In fact, one of the things that I love about this is a friend told me they noticed that they're using less of their refrigerator filter. Those things are expensive.
Oh, right.
If you're using this so it's another way to save money. And then you're gonna see this every 7 minutes. I love that it goes back, and it is something you'll use daily. So one of the other little things, I told you that we have that little indentation there because of the way it's made. but also it's going to give you more surface of the ice, so it's going to cool down your drinks faster. The other thing that it does, here, this one's making ice right now, it's going to whip the air as you are blending this. So every morning, favorite fruit that I have, frozen fruit, I've got watered down juice to save me on some calories, no dairy whatsoever because I want to save on those calories. When I make this, you are going to see, if this is plugged in, you are going to see that it is going to actually be a creamy, creamy consistency. It's almost like ice cream. And of course, this is not going to work right now. I don't know why. It's not going to work, but I'll get it to work, I promise. The story of this is whatever you make, whether it's your water, whether it's your iced coffee, or your blended drinks, it's all going to taste better. You're not going to taste what you made for dinner last night. No freezer burn funky ice. It's going to be the best tasting drink you've ever had. You're only going to taste the actual liquid in there, not what you had for dinner.
And you know what else is important too? They're really dense cubes. Have you ever had an ice machine where they have these really thin little cubes and then they totally water down your beverage, your drink, whatever it is? They're really dense, so they don't melt rapidly. That's a really important point when it comes to an ice maker. You actually have to know that about an ice maker, because if you buy the other type, they'll melt so fast, it'll be useless. You want them to actually last a little bit. Okay, so here's an update. If you want the stainless steel, this is the #1 most popular. It's also the most limited. I have less than 500 now remaining. Why do we love it? Because it matches our fridge, it matches the stove typically in most homes nowadays, so it's gonna look great on your countertop. Then I love the blue. This is this gorgeous, almost like turquoise blue. This is probably my favorite color between this and the red. I kind of like them both. This is a copper, but it almost looks like a deep rose gold, so beautiful metallic. This is your deep red, so you've got a really pretty red color. And finally, this is the black. I think it's really slick. If you want something that sort of dissolves away on your countertop, you don't really see it, or your bar area, I would probably get the black, actually. I think it looks amazing because it's got this metallic finish, not just kind of a solid big black. So here's what we're doing. We have 4 flex pays tonight. All of our flex pay, all the 4 flex we've done, and all our spring stuff, which includes hardware, furniture, our lawn, our garden, it all ends tonight at midnight. So if you want to take advantage of the 4 flex, you kind of want to get it in before the next 30 minutes is up. Also, how many of you have done it? You've had a couple people over and all of a sudden you've run out of ice and someone has had to get in the car and leave the party to go get a 10-pound bag of ice. And to Rebecca's point, because we have a very small fridge because we downsized so dramatically, we don't have room for a 10-pound bag of ice in our freezer. So it's not like I can stock up and get 2 or 3 bags to have enough for the party. This is that extra. Maybe you have a fridge that does not have an ice machine. I have a friend of mine who has a custom refrigerator that was designed just for her kitchen, literally no ice maker. So she has one of these sitting on her counter and she has fresh, clean, gorgeous ice on call whenever she needs it. It's every 7 minutes. I bet your ice machine in your fridge, in your freezer, cannot make ice that fast. Ours certainly doesn't. I swear, I think we have the slowest ice making machine ever made on this planet. It takes forever. And if we wipe it out after a good get together, it's a full day before we have, and we don't touch it. We're like, okay, nobody gets to use any ice for a day until it can kind of fill back up and then we can start using it again. It's ridiculous. Now you can have plenty of ice over and over again, 24/7, just doing its thing. And Rebecca, I love the size. I really love all the new colors too. They're gorgeous.
Oh, I do. You were talking about that black. It's actually like a hematite. I always say these are like little baubles sitting on your countertop. They're gorgeous. This is something you're going to keep out. You're not going to bury it away. You are going to use this day to day. I've had people write to me, my friends, about the different ways that they've used it. But my favorite way is that smoothie. And I'm going to tell you, it's Friday night. I'm not going to say that I didn't add any coconut rum to this, Suzanne. I'm not going to say that.
Nope. That was your outside voice. You did say it.
Oh, darn it. Doesn't that look delicious, though?
Yes, I'm very jealous at this point. All right, Rebecca, thank you for an awesome day and hanging out with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Have a good night.
Hey, baby. Hey, by the way, again, stainless steel almost gone. I've only got about 300 left there. The other colors are in pretty good shape. Let's check in with my friend Adam. He's got a great Today Special coming up in about 20.
Hey, Suze, from that ice, we're going to be heating.